Yo, 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 what's good, world? It's your boy Rob, Gio, real talk, real views, coming with another episode. Boy, we are moving, Joe. I think we are at episode 27. 27 now. Like, we are almost at 30 episodes, man. This shit moves so fast. Thank you to everybody that's been listening to us from the very beginning. Keep on progressing along, seeing all the love from all the states. Ireland, Romania, France. We got a lot of states in the U.S. Chi-Town, Illinois, baby. Man. I've even seen Michigan. I was like, man, we're getting love everywhere, man. So we wanted to say thank you to everybody overseas and everybody in the states, man. Today, the topic, Joe came up with this a few days ago. He wanted to talk about power and money.
Power and money.
Mm-hmm. What does it mean to have power, and what does it mean to have a lot of money, and what do those two equate to? And so, Joe, I'll just let you set it off, man. Go ahead and have this convo.
All right, so when we talk about money and we talk about power, these are two separate entities that pretty much is in society that kind of like controls in many aspects the world. So a lot of people just wanted to figure out, like, well, for me, I had this real deal like conversation, and I was just trying to figure out like in order for you to have power, does it start off with money first, right? That was the thing I was thinking about. I was just like, okay, so if you have, these are just things that just be coming in my head, you guys. Like literally, you can ask my brother, it'd be like literally I had come up with something, I'd be like thinking, I'd be just like, yo, this, and then because like that's just how I am. I just be thinking. I'm always thinking of something. So it was power and money. So I was just like, all right, so do you have to have money in order to get power first? So how do you get the power, then you get the money? Like, I never heard of getting power first, then you get a lot of money, right? That don't make no sense. You never heard that. So I thought the most part, right, of a lot of things, and I had a couple of debates with a couple people about it, and a lot of people kind of agree with me, but at the same time, there was one particular person that didn't, and they thought in order for you to get the money, you got to have some type of power, right? Now, this is where it goes into a different realm of power, right? So levels of power. And that's where a lot of things kind of make sense a little bit, because you're not gonna be making a whole bunch of money and you got the smallest amount of power. Granted, you got some kind of leverage, but it's not the highest of the highest, the pinnacle of the pinnacle. It's right below, it's below that level, if not lower, but you have some type of power. Now, power comes with influence, right? So when you have power, you can influence people to do things for you. So that's where a lot of the things happen. So I use an example like Suge Knight, right? And I was talking to Rob about this, and I was just like, so Suge Knight, he's really a bully, right? In all honesty, he's really a bully. He's not really like anything else. Like, he just bullied his way into the industry and just said, hey, you gonna work for me or you're not? If you're not, I'm gonna beat you up. Pretty much that stuff. And if you mess with him, it's a wrap. That was like intimidation. But his power was intimidating, somewhat of influencing, and having that recognition of, if you mess with him, there will be repercussions. There will be consequences for your action. And when you've seen that, you're like, okay, well, he has power, but we never really heard so much about his money, right? Like, we never really heard about Suge Knight having a whole bunch of money or a whole bunch of things. Don't get me wrong, like, in that industry, he was doing that. Obviously, he has money, but you mainly heard of Suge Knight's power and his influence on people to pretty much do things that he wanted them to do, based off not wanting to get fucked up. So we look at these billion-dollar corporations, these other industries, and all these multi-trillion-dollar industries, and they have power, and their money comes along too, but they have what we call old money, right? Generational wealth. Talking about from the 1960s and 70s and 80s, passed down to today, where it's the great Smiths, right? Or the great Fords, or the great, I'm so serious. Like these guys that are just like the highest of the highs, and the generation of the generation, just making tons and tons, of money. But they have power beyond means. Like if they don't want a certain particular company, and they have that product that company needs, they can cancel out that company and nothing's gonna happen. Because at the end of the day, wherever the food chain lies, they still have that say so, right? So that's where I was at with that. I'm kind of in that mindset. Well, for me, I'm kind of in that mindset of money. You gotta have money in order to have power, but there's still levels of power that needs to be addressed. And I'm gonna let Robin go a little bit more on that with the power, with the levels of the power.
I would say, my question is, dog, like, I think honestly, the levels to the powers is the people the people you have the relationships with, because like let's say another guy or another gal who's rich, and they did something for you. No, you did something for them. Now you're kind of like stuck in this bind, whether it's a situation with the cops, whether it's something with the courts, the FBI, and they know somebody that works in that industry. Oh man, like the Fords. Like, I don't understand. They have been rich forever. They haven't gone back. No, the money hasn't gone backwards. They don't want to give up the Detroit Lions, even though they suck at ownership. But that's the craziest part. Give up the team. But no, if I give up the team, Robin, I'm giving the $1 billion away. So what? Create it again. But
it's not easy to create a team, dog. That's not easy. No. Or just find an investment that's equivalent to that. But where are you gonna find that?
Right.
That's the NFL team. In order for you to look, you gotta own something else. So what you gonna own? What are you owning? You could own the Detroit Pistons. Mm-hmm. But is that gonna make the same? Is that gonna make the same revenue as a Detroit Lion? The Detroit Lion football, like a lot of people say, football makes way more money than the NBA. But when you look at the contracts of these NBA players, you're like, how the hell is this guy that's on the bench making 25 to or 20 something $million, and a running back is only making around like 12, right? Like, it's crazy. It's backwards, right? It's absurd to hear something like that. And especially that they're playing football, and it's a more dangerous sport. It's more physical. It's more demanding. It requires more treatment, more days off. Like, you don't see, like, NBA players, they literally have back-to-back games, or they take a day off. And even in today's society right now, as you can see in these playoffs, they have 1 day rest, and then they play the next day, right? For football, it's literally a Sunday, a Monday, a Thursday night, and it's a whole nother week before they see that. That's whole 7 days. Right. So they should be able to get more financial compensation for what they do, but they don't.
It's the owners, right? It goes down to the owners.
It goes down to the own, but it goes down to it's not they're being cheap, right? That's not it. They want the money to themselves. That's the power that we're going into. That power that they have is, I'm not gonna let these workers, in their minds, because they're workers, those guys put on a performance. Pretty much, if you look at what a NFL, NBA, all these professional athletes, they literally are performers and entertainers. Mm-hmm. Your skill set represents a performance that allows the owner to display your talents to the world that people are going to pay to watch, and they get money off of your talent.
Yeah, but hold on, Joe, real quick. But they're starting to pay the quarterbacks a lot of money. They're starting to give the quarterback. Is that the start? Maybe it might trickle down.
See, the reason why they're giving quarterbacks more of the money is because they have the ball more in their hands, right? So if you have somebody that's constantly hike, the ball's in their hands, hike, the ball's in their hands, hike, it does not start. It's the center. The center has to hike the ball, right? So you could see, if you really think about it, the two big the positions that get the most money is the quarterback, right? The DNs, the O linemen, right? Maybe a linebacker, but that's still up in the air. DTs, it's all the defensive lineman, the O lineman, and quarterback. It's literally quarterback, defensive lineman, O lineman, and then the other ones, they're just in the win. They're in the win. Why? Because they're expendable. You can always find a faster receiver. You can also find a younger receiver, right? Obviously, you're not going to find a more intelligent receiver and a more seasoned receiver, but receivers are expendable. Running backs are expendable, right?
Right.
Safeties and corners are expendable because you could get those guys. There's faster guys out everywhere, and that's how they see it, right? But you got to understand there are generational players as well. Generational talent, meaning that those guys, you can't just let them go. It will have an effect on your whole team because their intelligence and their experience in the game influences everyone else to process and think as though they're their protege. So now these young guys come in, they're like, maybe I could be a Gilmore. Gilmore's teaching me this, Gilmore's teaching me that. Maybe when I used to watch Champ Bailey, maybe I could be a Champ Bailey. Darrelle Revis, all these different corners, these high profile corners at the time. They're looking at them and they're saying, hey, these we playing 2D. Watch the middle, watch the cut. When you see the cut, as soon as you do that drop, cut off, going in, bam, interception or tackle, incompletion. One of those. You know what I'm saying? And it's just things like that. So that right there is literally only the quarterback. The quarterback is the only one, and they protect them so much.
I mean,
right,
man.
They have literally a rule for the quarterbacks. When you touch them, it's pass interference, and it be the slightest of the slight.
Roughing the passer, Tom Brady, man, it's crazy. But I would say for these players, Joe, to develop the power that you're talking about, it would have to be with them honestly uniting, and not only them uniting, but just regular people like you and me that don't play in the NFL or the NBA, in order for us to, to basically essentially power up. we need to like we always say, we literally have to unite. You just think about it. A lot of people listening to this podcast may have watched Power. You just see the chain of command. It goes Tommy and the connects that gave him all the drugs and all that shit. It's crazy how all that shit plays out. First of all, to get power, Joe, I feel like you have to develop a reputation. You have to develop a reputation.
How you get that reputation, though?
No, sometimes you got to do some fucked up shit, and then people will know you on the street. Don't fuck with this guy. I don't know what happened. This guy's older brother. This guy's he had beef with this guy's brother, and then all of a sudden the brother comes up missing. Nobody knows where the fuck he is, but we know that motherfucker has something to do with it. Don't fuck with that guy. Now all of a sudden your reputation, developing a reputation, now becomes power, and mind you, and that person doesn't even have money yet. We haven't even talked about money. So you just think about this destructive beast. Somebody like you hear Warren Buffett is trying to control basically the environment. And I've heard also too from Dan Pena. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He is a great motivational. He's a billionaire, and I was listening to his talks. Amazing. Back in the 90s, dog, he used to punch people in the face, like in the audience, like the crowd. Like nowadays, they're gonna, because he was born in 1945. He's from the generation where they can get in your face, curse you out, punch you in the face. You know, that tough generation. Nowadays, these coaches have to be so soft. You know, like I said, though, I grew up in Miami. So my football coaches will get in my face and say, quit being a fucking bitch. Quit being soft. I mean, grab the fucking helmet, get all up in your face. And it never shook me because I've been through worse shit at home. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Your parents prepare you for that kind of adversity. You remember how your coaches used to curse you out? Now, if they do that shit, the kids are going to be like, Mom, Dad, the coach is cursing at me. God damn, we turned into a fucking soft-ass society. Fuck.
But you got to remember where it's errors, right? That's all it really is errors, right?
Soft error.
But with that, like, I could count like countless times of when a coach got in my face and told me, yo, you need to look at this, you need to play better, you need to do this, you need to do that. Like, and he got in my face and was telling me all these different things. You playing weak, you playing soft, but these coaches we grew up with, right? They had probably, if not the same treatment when they were young. So they just bringing their experience right back into us and showing the way of coaching.
I don't mind it. But at that point in time, you know, like, I think everybody does have levels of power. But the question is, Joe, how do you ascend? How does your power now become serious? I feel like if you do climb up and you get the money, now your power niche just, it goes up another level. It elevates. But the way it elevates, though, is, like I said, you got to know other people that are like, yo, I'm a ride for this guy.
So this is where the level of the powers are, right? And I think we're getting into a more deeper topic, right? A deeper part of the power. So when you think of power, you think of somebody that has the almighty say so with whatever that goes on. Whatever he says goes, whatever she says goes, and that's what it's going to be, and that's how it's going to end. It doesn't matter whoever says whatever, that's what it is, right? So these levels of powers that I'm talking about, right? I use Suge Knight as an example. My brother used Warren Buffett, right? And my brother also used the other influencer. I forgot his name. What was his name?
Dan Pena.
Dan Pena, right? He also has power. Why? Because he's an influencer, right? Yeah. He talks and motivates people to think, literally, if not for themselves, through him. Like, it's weird to hear that, right? Like, someone's thinking for you without you even thinking, right? Just giving you that's power, right? So you look at it that, like, damn, he's telling me that I need to open up my eyes to realize that I need to do this. Without him having to say anything, he is telling you need to do this. But in reality, you're telling yourself to do this because you're hearing him talk about a situation that is similar to yours. So listen to how powerful that is. An influencer influencing you to make a decision based off what is going on in your life without you actually analyzing the things that's going on.
That's another level of power right there.
That is another level of power that is beyond measure. And that has nothing to do with money at the same time. Right? So
it's successful.
And it's successful. And it brings you money, right? And at the end of the day, right? Because you said he's a billionaire, right?
Yep, he's a billionaire. 750 billion.
But that's what I'm saying. I wonder, this is me just hypothetically speaking. I don't know if you know the answer or if he said that in one of his, his little things, but how did he get to that PowerPoint, right? Because there's a lot of people that I know that we know that they have that conversation. When they talk, you believe every fucking word they say. You're just like, yo, he's telling the truth right now. He's speaking facts right now. And you believe everything he says because you've been a part of it. You witnessed it, right? You've seen it. Now, for some people, they may not have ever even seen this guy in person, let alone seen the amount of money that he has, but he claims to be a billionaire, right? So now, I'm not saying he's a fluke or he's a lie, but how did he influence people that never even seen it? Even though we have like videos and all that stuff, but
he grew up in LA. His parents were
Okay.
immigrants from Mexico. Sounds so familiar. Our parents, not from Mexico, but from Haiti. I'm telling you, these people that come from these countries, like I don't understand, dog. Just have a different drive. But anyway, like he basically got told his whole life he was an idiot. Went to jail a couple times. Then he got into the oil industry. That's when the money started flowing. He got into the oil industry, started making contracts with Saudi Arabia. What's the other dog? He basically was doing business outside of the US, and that shit made him rich. When he was talking in his talk, Joe, he was talking about 100 euros, 820. I'm like, I don't know what the euro. I know euro means money, but European money, but I don't know what 100 euros mean. I don't know. But the fact that he knows that, it just shows me, okay, he went outside of the U.S. realm. He's developed a lot of relationships. He's met 5 presidents, met so many senators. He's met 12 prime ministers. That's what happens when you have money. You get into doors that people can't get into.
Yeah.
And so there's a level of power that money gives you in a sense of the people you have access to, the medicine or cures that you have access to. Because I know somebody, he even said it. There's a cure for cancer. He said it came out of a billionaire's mouth. He knows there's a cure. The thing
so this is a little off topic, and I had this conversation with one of my coworkers yesterday. That's what's so crazy. So we were trying to figure out how to, like, the whole idea of cancer, right?
Yeah.
How is cancer actually like brought up? Like when you hear, oh, I got cancer, how did you get cancer? Right?
Good question.
So I was asking them, I was like, how do you get cancer? And, a lot of people were talking about like radiation and stuff like that and everything. I'm like, yeah, and then one of my coworkers said, hence the word, cancer, canned foods, right? So now I'm wondering.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right. It's
Damn.
true. So if you think about it, a lot of people are eating out of canned foods, already made foods that are packaged in cans. You don't know how long that can has been sitting there. You don't know how long the food's been in there, and it's being consumed with what? Metal, aluminum, iron, all these different zinc, whatever, all these different materials. Oh yeah, all these different materials that are in the foods that you put in. Like for me, I be getting corn, right? The corn that be in the can.
Yeah.
I eat that a lot. Why? Because I love corn. Don't get me wrong, corn is good. If I had a corn on the cob, I'll eat the corn on the cob more than I eat the corn in the can. But sometimes I just want the chopped up corns, right? I don't want the corn on the cob all the time. I want chopped up corn. But when you see that, right? When you see and hear about cancer being in canned foods that are pretty much being radiated in things where some people put these canned goods in microwave, heat them up, and then eat them. Yo, that's where it's at right there. That's where it's at. Right? You're eating foods that are in these metal and material things, and it's gonna cause you cancer if you continuously eat those things. That's why when you see a lot of people when they get things, it's either fresh made goods, or it's the natural things, and then they take it upon themselves to get it off, or chop it up, or cut it out, like that. But Once I heard about the canned goods in the word of cancer, man.
You dump the cans away. Hey, don't put all the cans in the trash can. Dog, I even heard from a nutritionist on the Health Model Fitness show from Sean Stevenson, who said that bacon causes cancer as well. An overconsumption of
bacon. I've heard of it.
Yep. And I'm just like, why the fuck would they sell it? But the thing is, this world is such a capitalistic state. They don't give a fuck. They sell cigarettes and they have on the box, it causes cancer, and people still.
Yeah. So it's called rationalizing.
Rationalizing decision.
No, it's a different thing, but it's the ratio, right? They want to keep the ratio either at a higher rate or at the same rate that it is, right? We need a turnover rate, right? Turnover rate is for how many people that are born, how many newborns are in the world, has to equal or surpass the death. No, right. The deaths have to surpass that. The deaths have to surpass the newborns.
Quick question, Joe. Why?
So.
Go ahead. Continue.
No. So that is why you will see cigarettes or these different or these other tobacco things. People still people still consume these things and know they can get cancer from it, but they still smoke it anyways. Some people are just, hard-headed. They don't want to listen. They don't want to believe it until it actually happens to them. Mm-hmm. And by then it's just too late, rather than just not being in that situation at all. But hey, listen, you didn't want to listen. Now you're in this situation. I'm not saying, like, damn, that's fucked up, but you didn't listen. So that's on you. But
so yeah, the way we combat this, Joe, is the guy said what I like about Dan Pena. Think shout out to him for real. I'm so happy. The thing that I do on a regular is I consume content because I want to learn. Now I'm consuming content from billionaires because I remember Grant Cardone saying, stop taking advice from millionaires, listen to the billionaires. Okay, and I heard the guy said, my God, Dan Pena said that you want to make billions, change a billion lives. I was like, oh shit, enough said. God damn. He was like, a lot of you can go to these fucking foreign countries, help them out, create a system, create better schools, create this, create that, create jobs. But here's what you say, I don't want to be away from my family. Dog, this guy had the nerve to say, bro, it's like, I don't give a fuck if I had to chill with the devil for 6 weeks. I'm doing that shit. I was like, God damn, there must be another level of commitment from these people. That's why they're billionaires. They have this extreme level of when you can say something like that, and you're just like, I don't give a fuck, and they don't care about what you think about them. They are just them. But he did say the new successful millionaires and billionaires, a lot of them are introverts, believe it or not. Which only 2% of them are alpha loudmouths, you know what I'm saying? But the majority of them introvert. Mark Zuckerberg, I've never heard him on an interview ever. Never heard him. I've never heard. I don't even know what his voice sounds like. But I have a Facebook account.
You'll catch. I mean, you won't hear him all the time on the audio. I mean, on TV, but I heard his voice a couple of times.
He's low key.
Excuse me.
I get it. You don't want to be, oh, yo, it's Mark. Get a picture. I need an autograph. That probably gets old after a while. Like, fuck, can I just walk in?
Yeah, but you're not gonna realize that's him though. Like, not a lot of people out here looking at Mark Zuckerberg and like, hey, you created Facebook. Not a lot of people like. There's a lot of people.
Oh man,
but it's glad. I'm happy to hear that you don't have to be a loudmouth in order to make millions, right? You could be a silent assassin.
Yeah, and it works.
and make millions.
It works just like that. And people realize, okay, he's smart. He's smart. You got Elon Musk. These billionaires, some of them work about 100 to 150 hours a week. They just keep going and going and going and going. And I'm like, God damn, you guys, I'm not a lazy person, but when I listen to their work ethic, I'm like, oh shit. Woo! I gotta crank it up another notch, man. Like I got some catching up to do. I don't necessarily put them on a pedestal, Joe, like they're God or anything like that. But I'm trying to learn from a business standpoint so I could get that intellect. And I've always wanted to go back to our homeland, aka Haiti. I've always wanted to go back to do some good things, just like what Akon's doing for Senegal. He done got them electricity. He done got them on the solar panels. He's changing the shit out of his country. I would love to meet Akon and say, how did you go about it? Who did you book the meetings with? How were the deals done? Break the numbers down to me. Like who did you hire as your architect? Did you like how did you staff it? Like I have so many questions for Akon because what he's doing is amazing. I would love to do it to help Haiti out. And if they fuck it up after I got done, at least I tried. You know what I mean? That's it. But, I think that they just need better pay. Like, that's the future. Can you just imagine that? The countries now become the states, and the states become the country. Is there a possibility? I think that there is. I hear that they're building a place called Neopal. It's like by Singapore. This new city that they're building, that billionaires are investing their money in. They're creating another, like, it's that's when you have money. When you're like, yo, let's build a city. What the fuck? Your pockets have to be so deep. And like I said, Joe, like you could build power through reputation. You could have power through money. You could there's so much, man. And the key of this podcast is to realize if you are a good person, you may wanna get your shit together because we need the good people to have the good power, man. Like we need the good people to have the power so we can overthrow the bad people. God damn, kind of like level out the playing field right now. Like people are going crazy. Robin, who you voting for? Robin, what are you gonna do this? I got older people. Man, you young kids never want to vote, but you guys got all these complaints in the world. But I got to a point where I realized who gives a fuck who's in the White House? I need to be able to control my life. Like, I can't depend on the president to just be like, yo, I got Robin's family's back. Yeah, right. We're human beings. We're selfish.
Yeah,
We're selfish. We're selfish. We're human beings. We are fucking selfish. It's a damn shame. But
Now what's interesting that you mentioned the president, right? Everybody, for the people that believe that the president has power, you're sadly mistaken.
No, he doesn't. He works for people.
He does not have power. You're sadly mistaken. Mm-hmm. It's like how can I describe the president, man? Like
just a pawn.
Like I wouldn't call him a pawn. I can't call him a pawn because he still has to sign off some things and agree on something. It's not like he doesn't have any kind of say so. If anything, maybe.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, what I'm just trying to say, Joe, just my point is that we as people got to control our own lives because that's going to give us the peace. We can't sit here and say, hey, election season's coming. We're about to get our lives better. Yay!
Now for the people that are looking for changes and believe into the presidential system, listen, just because you vote for the president does not mean that your local areas are going to be the same. So when you are voting, you must also vote for the local government, which is wherever county you are in, and make sure you vote for those people as well, because those people have more of an effect on your outcome in your local neighborhoods, right, rather than the president that has to oversee literally a nation.
They need to do a better job advertising, Joe. Like I hear you 100% on that. They need to do a better job. I feel like personally, we need to have a day where we get paid, while we're at work and everybody sits down, whoever's trying to run for local, whatever, yo, put this person on the TV, give me a poll or something, let me listen to what the fuck they gotta say. I'm gonna decide whether I'm gonna vote for them or not. Let me just put it in our face and we will take care of it, because that's our duty to do, versus, hey, here's an email. Check this out. Or, hey, are you voting for Barbara this year, Robin? Who's Barbara? I don't even know who that is. Have you been watching TV? No. I'm so busy with my own life, I could care less about it. But hey, this is important. Well,
I mean,
put
but
it in front of me, and one day I can make a decision.
you actually have to pay attention to that, dog, because that is your local government. And believe it or not, your local government has more of an effect on your children, than you really expect, than you really, you know, having to foresee. Like they really have, if they have something, if they sign a certain bill that says that classes are only online, that affects your pockets. Why? Because now when you're at work, who's watching your kids? You see what I'm saying? If they sign the bill that says it's mandatory for you to be in such and such thingy at this time, and you're doing this or you're doing that, it affects you. So you gotta think about these things, because in a way and in a sense, right? To me, this may sound crazy. I don't know if people disagree with me, but hey, it is what it is. I kind of believe it this way. The local governments, the local head honchos, the local presidents in their local areas have more power than the president of a nation. The reason why I'm saying this is because they control their area, their small little cities. They have, like, for us,
The policies. Yeah, you're
they
right.
have they control that more, and they have more say so and more room to say whatever they want to say, because in a sense, that's literally their town. They could say what's going on in their city way more, and control what's going on in their city way more than the president can with a whole entire nation, because you have 50 states. In each state, there's a governor for that state, so that's 50 heads plus the local governors that are in those respective states. So you have different heads, different personalities, different people that have to speak on behalf of their quote unquote locals. Now, some people may not even agree with what that governor has to say, and then it's a whole different situation there. So it's just like the local governments have more power with what goes on in their society today, man. And it's just like you're starting to hear power, power, power a lot. The reason why I'm transitioning to that more so than money is because I first believed that money comes first, then power, but it's power. You can get power in so many different ways. You don't have to have money to have power, right? When we mentioned it, you can be an influencer and people just gonna believe you. The way you breathe, the way you talk, and the way you breathe, and the way you move, and the way you walk, and all of that could be so influential to the point where someone's gonna believe everything that you're saying, and they're gonna follow you because of how passionate and how quote unquote influential you sound. And that's power in itself. Now you got somebody, right? Now you got somebody. You reel someone in. Now when you reel that person in, you can change. You could do whatever with that person. You could say to that person, hey, if you do this, this is what's gonna happen. If you do that, that's what's gonna happen. Now that person is following you. That is that you don't need money for that.
That, and just to go deep into to what you're saying, man, like yo, this, man, fuck, I already just lost the train of thought I was about to say. God damn, I had
It's a
something
bunch of
good
suckers,
too.
man. It's a bunch of suckers.
It's a bunch of it is a bunch of sucker shit, man. But like I was saying though, I honestly feel, Joe, that the presidential election could be a distraction, because these people that you're saying in the local government, this is how I know you're right about them being very powerful, bro. More than so many people don't even know who the fuck their local governments are. They don't even know where to go, who to start, who's this, who's that. Why are we not educated on that? But when we're kids and you're teaching us in school, hey, you gotta vote for a president. vote, vote, vote. But it's only president.
President.
Only president. So then when you grow up as an adult, you're just like, no, I'm just voting for the president.
For the president.
No, there's more to vote for. Did you know that?
It's our educational system, right?
In the media, there's somebody controlling it, Joe. Somebody is like, I'm getting them. I'm reeling them in. The media, like, yo, keep paying attention to these two clowns debating and shit. And you gonna really think that one of them is gonna save you. But guess what? I got control over them too. I'm reeling them in. When you come to that thought perspective, Joe, and you realize, okay, this is some fucked up shit. What do you do at that point? Like, how do you fight that back? How does because there is probably somebody who's realized this too. You know, think about our generation. Like, hold on, we sit back and we're like,
no, I realized that too. Now, you guys have to pay attention to this thing. This is about to be crazy. I'm about to shock you. Me and my brother already know about this, but I'm about to shock you guys right now. Go to your phone, right? Type in, maybe a hotel you're looking for, a car that you're looking for, some shoes that you're looking for, a shirt that you're looking for. Type that in on your phone, right? Type it in, look and stuff like that. Type it every hour or so, something like that. Watch how, one, your news feed on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, those things that you were looking for are going to pop up on your feed, right? They're going to pop up on your feed. They're going to pop up on your feed. Whether you're looking for shoes, whether you're looking for something, they're going to pop up on your feed. Now, if you have Wi-Fi at your home and it's connected to the Wi-Fi, it's going to pop up on the TV screen. The government is watching everything you do and is trying to persuade you to do whatever it is that you are searching for. They are watching you 24/7 like a hawk, and this shit is ridiculous. They want to control what you want. If it's making purchases and not paying attention to the government and their whole entire system and what they're trying to run and all that good shit that they so hope to help us do and have us in a great life and a great situation and have promising 4 years, they are trying to manipulate and change the mind. Pay attention. I'm telling you, the government is trying to fuck everybody over. But a lot of people say, stay woke, stay woke. Man, listen, it's not about staying woke. All right, that's not even it no more. It's stay educated, right? It's not about staying woke. Be aware. do some research. Pay attention to these things, because a lot of people, and the biggest power is influence. Having different people to influence you, that takes no money but mouth and attitude and physique and not physique and facade and all these different things. You're using these different things to get these people. And it's just like, yo, like you gonna believe this nigga just because he talked all that good shit in your ear? Yo, go do your research. See what the fuck is matching. If this shit is matching up based off the research that you pulled, if it matches up, after that, go get a second opinion. You know, see when the NBA players, when they want to play bad enough, what they go do? They go to the first doctor. After the first doctor say, "No, you can't play," what they go do? They go get a second opinion. They get another doctor in that motherfucker to go see. For real.
That's the way it is.
You gotta check every single time you do your math homework. What they do? What they tell you to do? Check your work. When you're done reading a passage and you answer, when you think you answered the question right, what they go and tell you to do? Reread the passage where you see those key words. Simple.
Underline
check. Underline them. Check. All these easy things. You gotta check. You gotta make sure what you're doing is correct. You gotta look. The media is controlling everything that we do and everything that we see, everything that they want us to know. They're gonna put it in front of our faces. Man,
if people in the world would, Joe, if they wouldn't listen to the media, do you know how scared they would be? Oh shit, we don't have control over them anymore. Oh shit,
Duh.
we're freaking out. Now guess what? It's gonna be easier to find out who's been behind this for God knows how many fucking years. Woo! How many years?
Ridiculous.
And I think that they've been doing this before technology. I think they've been doing this, dog. I know that they've been doing this for a long ass time. For a long
Yeah,
ass time, dog. And like I said, there's a lot of things that are distractions that take you away from really actually looking at what real actual problems are, man. Like there's a lot of distractions. Yo, join this organization. Yo, join this cult. Yo, join this religion. Yo, it's gonna give you a bunch of hope. You're gonna pray. You're gonna meet this guy, this guy. You're gonna say hi to Allah. You're gonna say hi to Buddha. You're gonna say hi to all these so-called God figures, and you're gonna pray and pray and pray. And maybe one day they'll come back and they'll help you. I stopped believing in that bullshit a long time ago. Long time ago. I laugh when people just tell me that. Oh, Robin, but don't you worry. The good old, you know how I feel about the you know what I'm gonna say. The vice president of God of God system. But anyway, though, man, I know that there is somebody we have to answer to, Joe, after we pass. I know that there's another life. I just know it. So I know what you do in this world is gonna like you're gonna answer to somebody. I just know it, because the chain of command never stops. You ever notice that? There's no ending to it. Oh, this guy has to go. Where does it end? Where does it end? And that's literally how it is in this world, man. And so, man, like I said, the power is so important, and there's so much power that we have as just normal citizens that we don't even practice. All we need to do is get educated. There's so many platforms where people are putting people on, Joe, on game about the history, this and that, what Black people have done. I mean, yo, there's a lot. I mean, was it you who told me that there was a law that was passed because that guy, Senator John Lewis, that man who died? They said, yo, he marched with King. And I'm just like, yo, what did this nigga do? I'm not trying to be funny. Who are you? And then it comes up, and then they say, people that really do their homework on, they say, this guy was always in the Democratic Party. But what has the Democratic Party done for the Black people? Not a goddamn thing.
Everybody got to remember in history.
But he's a legend.
Everybody got to remember at a point in time, the Democratic Party that we represent were Republicans.
Yeah, exactly. Dog, both parties haven't done shit. So now you're stuck. You're like, yo, you in limbo here. Dog, I don't believe them. I don't believe them. But my ancestors marched from one state to another, so I have the right to vote. And then I realized it was for nothing. And the people that were in power were just laughing. They're marching.
But see, the thing that you have to realize is, yeah, they were marching to give us the right to vote. Let's not belittle that. Like, let's understand that is a key part of history for us to vote. The thing about society that fucked us over is because they only wanted us to realize that there was only one person that needed to get elected and needed to be voted on, and that was the president. They're not telling us about our local governors. They're not telling about our state governors. They're not telling us about those things, those key things within our functional societal world that we need to vote on. They are only talking to us about the main thing, the one that has no influential purpose in our local society at all, which is the president of the United States. Let's just keep it 100. Yo, if you vote for Trump or if you vote for whoever, I don't care who we vote for, to be honest. At the end of the day, the people that are going to influence you and change your right and change everything that's going on in your local areas is your state governor and your local governors. You need to vote for them. You need to vote for them. If you're looking and seeking change within your county, within the area that you live in, you need to vote for those state and local governors. If you do not vote for them, you will not see change. Mm-hmm. If they're talking about making some kind of change that you also admire and that you agree upon, vote for that guy and promote for those people, right? That's what you want to do. Promote those people and have them make those those adequate changes that you so hoped and desire that you wanted to have in your life, that would cause a great deal of improvement within that 4 or 2 year span that they're in office.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know,
it's crazy, man, and that's the power, man, of the media and all that.
yes,
I just
the
like the
media
fact that
influence
you wait.
so much. The media influence so much. It tells you what you're watching, how you're watching it, how long you're watching it. They do all kinds of shit. They don't
Technology's
want you to.
good and bad.
They don't want you to tell you nothing. And now it's to the point where I feel as though some of the teachers that are in these schools, it's not that they don't want to teach you everything that's going on. They are restricted and they are restricted in their own rights because the system is telling them they should only learn about this part of the subject, that part of the subject. There's some
It makes
teachers
no sense. There's no freedom there.
it makes
That's
no
the problem. There's no freedom there. I always tell teachers, what's the point of getting a damn degree in teaching if you can't teach the way you want to teach? You should have the right to do it. You went to all the classes.
It's a restriction.
Shit makes no fucking sense.
There's a restriction, right?
Yep.
So you're not going to be able to you're going to be able to teach, just not the way you want to teach. Now there's going to be a certain amount of lessons and certain amount of knowledge that you can give your students because the government and the Department of Education do not want you to teach these kids about budgeting and life lessons and these different kind of rubrics throughout life that could potentially, I don't know, help the everyday person in life. Everybody understands budgeting is important, right?
Uh-huh.
But there's some people out here that's in college that don't know how to budget. Let's just keep it 100. Doing your taxes, things like that. I do my own taxes. You can ask, dog, Robin, don't I do all my income tax? I do all my income taxes.
Yeah, you got to teach
I
me.
I don't go to nobody. I mean, eventually one of
That
these
shit
days.
scares me. I look at the sheet, I just want to faint. I just want to
It's
faint when I
okay.
look at the sheet.
It's very easy. It's not
All
complex
these
at all.
lines, all these stupid questions, it just makes me feel. Well,
listen, that's a whole different topic. You have kids, you have businesses now. You have businesses. Once you get into the business world, that's gonna be a whole different thing. Like at that point, dog, you may have to pay me at that point because that's a lot of work. But that's a whole different thing for another time. But no, what you have is not too hard to do for yourself, dog. Like they gotta teach you about these things and tax write-off and all these different things that are
leasing
just as
and owning a
important.
car, right? Whether you should buy
leasing.
or rent. Like, goddamn, that would have helped me a lot instead of science, social stuff. What the fuck is social studies?
Now let's not go and dismiss science. All right, I feel as though science is a very integral part in our society. Learning about learning about the water, the land, the world we live in, the earth, the economic, the ecosystem.
Interesting.
There's a whole bunch of things that are very important. Learning about photosynthesis, the animals, you have to learn about these things too now, because when you get out into the world and you see a bear, let's say you've never seen a bear ever in your life, or you've never even seen a bear in a book, and you see a bear, your first instinct is what?
Run.
You probably just go run. But guess what? If you run from a bear, they're running after you. You gotta stay still. But you wouldn't know that, would you? If there wasn't any science.
Yeah, man. Because they'll be scared of you because you're not scared of them.
Exactly.
And the bear is huge. If that shit falls on you, you're done. If I see that shit open its mouth, I'm fading.
I'm just giving up. At that point, I'm just
pull out a gun, something. Like, you come near me, whop, whop, whop. We out, man. But if the whole family sees you do it, you can't kill all of them. You're going to run out of bullets eventually. They're going to slaughter your ass. They're going to take you to the cave.
You're ridiculous. But the thing about bears, they'll kill you, but they just won't eat you. Your body's going to be fed to like vultures and crows and all that other crazy animals
Crazy,
and stuff.
man. Well, yo, with that being said, it is about that time. Me and Joe both got some things to do. But y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned. This next episode that we're gonna be doing with Andy, Andy's
On Dragon Ball
is
Z.
going to be talking about what me and Joe were saying. Why do girls consider themselves? Why do when girls talk about? Fuck it, Joe. You say it. I'm fucking messing up here.
I don't understand how you can't even say that. That's just getting me the hell. But it's just like the thing about the next episode has to deal with girls and so-called them being hoes, if you will. That it's a very controversial topic, but there's some people that call girls hoes, and there's certain girls that are not hoes. They just know what they want. But stay tuned. We got information and details coming your way. We will tell you about it all on the next episode.
Well, real talk, real views. Yo, everybody,
yes,
thank you for rocking with us. I hope this concept of Joe rolling about power and money just gets your wheels spinning and you start thinking, you start going after your life. Go fucking win. Don't make no excuses. Don't depend on anybody to change your circumstances. You change your own circumstances. We have to unify. We all need to wake up collectively as a community because we've been lied to for way too fucking long. I know I'm personally sick of it.
Like I said earlier, it's not about getting woke or woken up or waking up. It's about educating yourself. Go out there and get educated. At this point, if you're not woken up already, nigga, just stay the fuck to sleep. At that point, I don't even give a fuck no more.
Right.
Go get yourself educated. Go read a fucking book. Go look at different podcasters. Go listen to them. Go grasp some more knowledge. Go to different areas and talk to people. Talk to older folks, younger folks. It doesn't matter. Get yourself educated. Figure out what works for you. Understand these information. Listen to these informations. Grasp what you feel as though is correct. And if you don't know, research it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is what the internet's for. It's not just for Facebook, Instagram, and all that good shit. No, research it.
Right.
Look some shit up.
Straight up.
Look some shit up.
But shit, yo.
Think about knowledge is power.
Think about it, yup. And then execution is the ultimate. Because if you can have knowledge, but if you don't do nothing with it, you're just as dumb as knowledge. You're fucking idiot. But yo, with that being said, y'all all take it easy. We will see you guys next week. Appreciate another episode of Real Talk, Real Views in the books. Y'all
yes, sir.
Peace.
You're far too kind.